Hello, my name is Micah Perkins. I'm a professional counselor in Edmond, Oklahoma, and this is the second video on the series of mindfulness. And there's a total of 6, so this is number 2. And if you remember from the last video, we did mindfulness of breathing. So we used our breath as a focal point to come back to over and over again whenever we found our mind wandering off and getting caught up in these thought trains. We'd come back to focusing on the breath over and over again. So today we're going to do mindfulness of visual objects. So just as we use the breath as a focal point in the first exercise, in this exercise we're going to use a visual object. So it might be a candle that you have set up. So you're going to use that as the object of meditation to focus on. Whenever those thoughts arise, going back and focusing on the candle, watching the flame flicker, and doing this over and over again. You might use incense and watching the smoke go up and dissipate. Whenever those thoughts wander, coming back and focusing on the incense and the smoke of the incense over and over again. So these are techniques that I want you to use during the next week to practice during your meditation exercise. I also want you to begin to practice these exercises in other places as well. So let's say you're at a department store such as Walmart or Target or something like that, to use mindfulness of breathing while you're in that setting. So let's say you're standing in the checkout lane at Walmart, to focus on the breath and counting the breath. And whenever thoughts come up of, I can't believe this is taking so long, and why don't they have more cashiers up here to help check me out, and what's wrong with these people, coming back and focusing on the breath over and over again. You might choose to, in that setting, focus on a visual object. So you look up and you see a balloon that's there, to focus it on the balloon. And whenever you have these thoughts come up of, I can't believe this is taking so long, going back and focusing on the balloon over and over again. Something else when we're using visual objects that you can do is to mentally draw an outline around that visual object. So if it's square shaped, you just mentally draw an outline around that object, and that can help our brain to be able to focus on that object. Another thing that we can do is imagine what the texture would be like. So let's say you're looking at something that's rough, and you just in your mind imagine what that would feel like if you were to put your hand on that texture. What if it's something that if it's kind of warm, what would that feel like? Or something that's cool, what would that feel like? And so imagining what that sensation would be like if you were to touch it, that can be something that can help to focus our mind as well. So do these exercises this week, and I will see you next week.